Pass.
Buttons in front of Mike Matusow now.
Pass.
Eric and Roland are going to sit out for the first hand. Here's Mark Goodwin. So far, he's had the best of the early action in this cash game. He's up about $34,000. Raise it up from Mark Goodwin, and a call from Mike Matusow. Good suited connectors there for Mike, and he's got the button.
Well, Matusow's out-flopped Goodwin here. He's got top pair.
And Mark hasn't had a stab at it.
4,200.
Well, once he's checked it, you think he's going to give this one up.
No, clearly, once he checks, he's giving it up. Now, Goodwin's our big winner today, but he's played it really conservative.
Yeah, he was a little bit erratic the very first hand, but since then, I think he's done very good.
Yeah.
You have to call it before the turn card hits, by the way.
Any other rules I need to know?
Well, I would have paid you because you didn't know. You know what I mean? But you have to,
So that one goes to Mike.
you have to realize,
I know you have to realize, but
and you have to call it and say, okay, that's my problem. The turn card. The main difference between a cash game and tournament poker is that in a cash game, sometimes when you put $100,000 in a pot, it's your own money. And in a tournament, when you put 100,000 chips in a pot, a lot of times you bought in for 10,000, 5,000, whatever the buy-in might be. So it's not really that big of a deal when you lose the pot. It hurts a lot more in a cash game when you lose 100,000 of your own money.
I think cash games you can actually make more money, because in tournaments you really need to make it far to make good money playing tournaments.
The art of cash games in my mind is to forget that it's actually money. It's just a tool, and these are just tokens, and you're just betting with them, but you don't actually think, that's a nice car I'm just calling with here, or that's a lovely family holiday or something like that.
I think the true poker players are the poker players that excel and enjoy and do well in multiple forms of the game.
2 bracelets. Awesome.
Well, these aren't easy to win. I remember this one like it was yesterday. My opponent had me down to my last. Sorry. Anyway, it was down to my last few chips. So I had to call.
Oh, you played there before, being USA Poker. Oh, wow. Wow.
I had a share.
I don't believe that. Wow, you might lose some sponsorship.
Pass.
It's expensive, sure.
Pass.
The players certainly seem to be enjoying themselves. Plenty of conversation going on down there. Golfing buddies, Phil Ivey and Mark Goodwin.
2,200 to play.
Gus Hansen raising it up with his Queen Jack of Hearts.
Pass.
Looking good so far.
2,200.
Quack. I was used to that bit by now. Oh my God.
I don't think Mike's ever not defended his big blind.
All right,
well, Mike's caught the ace, but there's a flush draw here for Gus.
It's an interesting flop.
Well, let's take a suit, too. So it comes up hearts.
4,100 to play.
That's 10,000.
Bet from Mike.
it's full well, man.
Putting the pressure on the Dane, hoping
What cards do you
his
have?
ace is good.
19 queens, my
Tough spot for Matusow here. He doesn't have much of a kicker.
Yeah, but he has put the pressure on Gus. It's going to be a question of how Gus wants to play this one. Is he going to put more pressure back onto Mike? He is the pre-flop raiser. This does look like a find out where I am kind of bet. Putting the pressure back on him.
Raising 13.
Mark gets out the way, leaves it to these two. Well, that looks like a call to me. It's a brave call.
Check.
7 doesn't help Mike's hand.
Gus Hansen with the strong semi-bluff on the flop. Mattisau calls him, though. And you wonder now, if you're Gus Hansen, do you take the free card on the turn?
If he checks, he knows he's probably going to have to catch his flush to win this pot. If he bets 25, 30,000, it would take one big call from Mike Mattisau with ace with a 3 kicker.
Really would. And he takes the card.
Yeah, he's decided to take the free card. Ooh.
Well, now if you're Mattisau, you really can't beat anything. You can't beat a big ace. You can't beat the flush.
The only thing you can beat is a bluff on the flop.
Exactly.
Be interesting to see if Mike tries what's called a stop bet here. Bet small. Doesn't want to call a 25, 30,000 bet from Gus. So he puts 10,000 out there. What he should probably do is check fold here.
Definitely not a bad play. The pot's 42,000. Maybe you put out a $10,000 bet, almost naming your price for a showdown.
Well, his stop bet's a bit bigger than mine would have been. It's 20,000.
That's good.
Can't see him not calling this one, though, David.
No, clearly he's going to call, but is there any value to raising it? Remember, there is a paired board.
I really can't see him raising it either. But then, Gus does a few things that the rest of us might not. Caution certainly isn't his middle name.
Obviously, he can't beat the king high flush, and he can't beat a full house. If Mattisau had, say, a set of sevens or a set of nines here, or somehow had pocket aces.
He's moved his chips all in.
Wow. Well, what do we know? As Gus Hansen moves all his chips in there. Pot is now $144,000. $144,000 pot here. And now Mattisau is thinking, is this guy bluffing me? Could he be bluffing me?
Well, what's going through Mike Mattisau's mind here? He's checked the turn, Gus. How can he check the turn and then move all in against me once the deuce comes?
Well, the interesting play is, you normally wouldn't think somebody with a flush draw would make this move.
Exactly. Well, he's mucked it. Gus wins a nice pot. Very nice pot.
When you play poker, you're trying to make the best decisions based on the information you have, and really the amount should be fairly insignificant. I mean, it should matter. You shouldn't be careless, but you shouldn't base your decisions on whether you could buy a car or half a car or 2 cars for the amount. You should base your decision on what's the best move I can make here.
So Gus Hansen continues to rack up the chips. Can anybody catch him? Find out after the break.
Here at the Poker Channel, we continue to bring you the greatest moments from the world of poker. Passion, heartache, deceit, ecstasy. Every human emotion brought to the surface as the world's biggest stars take it to the felt. Your favourite bluffs. And timeless river moments.
And the rivers of 7, I cannot believe it.
I love the poker. You guys don't know how bad I run at poker.
Brought straight to your screen and online. The Poker Channel, the home of poker.
The action here is intense at 50 London. The button is in front of Eric Seidel. Gus Hansen in the big blind. Phil Ivey's first to act.
We're going to kick this game up, right out the mud here.
Phil lays it down. Mark Goodwin looks like he's called. Yeah, Mark's in with his Queen King of Diamonds.
Pass. Pass.
Eric calls for 600 on the button with his 10 jack.
It's a good hand on the button.
And he makes up the big blind with his 9 jack, Roland. That leaves just Gus Hansen.
Oh, and Gus Hansen's picked up a couple of ladies here. Now, how do you play this in the big blind?
Well, he probably doesn't want to leave too many people in this pot. He's going to be out of position against anyone but Roland de Wolf, so I'd expect quite a decent size bet.
And he does that. Now, a lot of ways to play pocket queens here. You can definitely slow play him and kind of disguise your holding in a cash game, or play him strong like Gus Hansen has.
Well, that's a raise of 5,000. That's playing them strong.
Clearly, Gus Hansen does not want to see a flop here.
He certainly doesn't want to see a flop four-handed. But that's a call there from Mark Goodwin. And he's in pretty bad shape. He does not want to see a queen-high flop.
No, if the case queen were to come out, Goodwin would be in trouble.
One more.
Ooh, one overcard to Gus's queens, and it's the one he did not want to see. It's a king.
Was he? Was he? No, I said you have no chance of sleeping. You're like, one more.
No, obviously Goodwin way ahead, and we can see that. But he's obviously got to be scared of ace king.
200.
Well, that's a big bet from Gus. If Mark Platt calls this,